Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. In today's episode, we're going to be deconstructing the placebo effect. First of all, I want to read off the definition from Google. The placebo effect is a beneficial effect produced by a placebo drug or treatment which cannot be attributed to the properties of the placebo itself and must therefore be due to the patient's belief in that treatment. So a dummy's version of that is that the narrative mind plays a huge role on the output. And normally whenever we're thinking about the placebo effect, we're thinking of it in very positive terms. It's like this person who was very sick believed that the drug that they were getting was going to help them out tremendously. And therefore, due to that belief, they started to feel better. I one time had a situation where the exact opposite happened. It was just like any other day. And I was supposed to do one of those physicals for my work. And by the time I get to the physical area, the line wasn't too long because you could choose which day you want to go. And I was smart. I ended up going on a Monday where no one else was doing the physical at the time. So I walk in and there's this guy that's wearing this doctor's nursing uniform. And he's like, hey, you're going to be with me. So he begins to do all of these different tests on me. And for the most part, he seems pretty calm. And there comes a certain point for one of the tests where after getting my results, he's like his body language looks very alarmed. And then he looks at me and he's like, sir, are you feeling okay? I was like, yeah, I'm feeling okay. Why? He's like, are you sure you're feeling okay? I was like, yeah, I'm feeling okay. Why are you asking me that for? And that's when he's like, you see these results? This is awful. Are you sure you're feeling okay? Now he's starting to panic because I think that you're about to have a heart attack at any moment. And I'm like, me? Have a heart attack? And something about psychology, whenever you're seeing someone wear a certain uniform, it plays a huge role on the perception. And this guy was dressed like a medical professional. So when he was telling me that I was about to have a heart attack, I really believed him. And he started to break down all of these different numbers on why like my heartbeat is way too high and how I should be very alarmed. He's like, if I were you, I would actually get out of work right now, go to a doctor and get myself checked in ASAP. And I was like, all right. So I let my manager know. And he's like, oh yeah, go ahead and do whatever you have to do. And as I'm leaving, I tell a few of my coworkers, a lot of them were guys, and they're like, ha, Armani's about to have a heart attack. They're making a joke out of this. But I was really scared. Like, I really believed this guy. So eventually, I tried to get one of those physicals with a doctor, but most of the doctors were booked. But one guy said, in 2 days, I will be free. The next 2 days felt like hell. Anytime I was like walking a little too fast, I was like, oh, wait, you may get a heart attack. So slow down. So I slowed down. Anytime I was thinking about going to the gym, it's like, I don't know if a guy who may get a heart attack should be lifting heavy weights. Anytime that I was about to watch, let's say, a scary movie, I'm like, what if this movie scares me a lot? I mean, I may get a heart attack. So for the next 2 days, I was living in fear. Finally, the doctor appointment came up, and the doctor seemed like a pretty nice fellow. He runs a few tests on me, and he's like, why are you here for? I was like, didn't you hear? I may get a heart attack at any moment. He's like, you? No, you're really healthy. I was like, wait a minute, are you sure? And that's when I began to tell this doctor the story of the other gentleman who did my physical. And the doctor was very curious. He's just like, okay, tell me about what you were doing before the physical. And then I was just like, well, I came to work. I drank 2 cups of coffee because the night before I didn't get much sleep. And the doctor's like, wait, you drank how many cups of coffee? 2. That's why. You're not supposed to drink any cups of coffee before one of these physicals because the instruments are very sensitive towards that. You're fine. The next time you do it, just go in without any other substance, especially caffeine. And once this guy told me that, suddenly, just physiologically, I felt better. I'm like, yeah, all right. So I'm like, I was about to take the elevators. I'm like, nah, man, I'm not going to get a heart attack. I'll just go straight, I'll take the stairs. I felt good. So that situation taught me that the placebo effect is not always something that can work with the positive situations. It's something that could work for negative situations as well. And that's the thing that's not often talked about, the dark parts. And this actually shows, it showed me at least. I mean, I can't prove this to other people, but those 2 days of when I thought I was going to get the heart attack, I was moving so freaking fearful. Now imagine if I was moving like that for 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. This is why we often have to do an audit on a lot of our beliefs. Just like we upgrade a lot of the software on our phones, we have to every now and then check certain beliefs that are our versions of heart attacks, which we're moving very limited in. We just have to be like, is this belief accurate? See, with beliefs, it starts off with questions, then it becomes a hammer. To spot negative beliefs is one of the hardest things to do. So just spotting it is a big thing. And then asking the question, is this optimal? Is like the second best thing to do. And after that, let's say you go on this long journey where you're like, nah, this isn't the best belief. You find a replacement belief. Remember, you don't just stop thinking thoughts, you replace thoughts. And once you get the new thought, you just keep hammering it home. And whatever thought you just keep hammering home, repetition is the language of the neural pathways. Eventually, that's what it picks up. So just remember, the placebo effect is not only for positive situations, it can also happen with negative situations. Another thing to remember is that your narrative mind plays a huge role in how you move. Are you taking the elevator or are you taking the stairs? Are you running or are you walking with caution? And from there, it's all about which beliefs are optimal for you that is helping you in terms of your life. The placebo effect, there's a lot of these different scientific studies on it, but for anyone that has lived through it, I'm sure they have a funny anecdote that shows that it could be real towards their life. So thank you very much for joining the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel, and I'll catch you on the next episode.